the reason why I asked about pressure for you, Ben, is that Eddie Hearn said that you're not competition to him. Do you feel with the BBC behind you and the fights that you're putting on that you could be, or do you feel like you're competition to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn?
I'm not interested in them. I'm not interested in anything they have to say. They don't want competition. It's natural. They made it as difficult for me as possible to break in. It's natural. I'm the age of when Eddie Hearn started. Eddie Hearn works for his dad, right? He's 50 years old and he works for his dad, right?
Is he 50? Is he 50?
I don't even want to, and I mean it in a respectful way. He's an unbelievable talker and he talks for a living. Doesn't have to run a business. He talks. That's what he does. And so it's very different to start at 23 years old with not anything and try and get to the level that I've got to. And at my age, he hadn't even started. I'm probably about 100 shows in. And so I accept they don't want competition. I don't care about that. I'm thick enough skins who have got to this position with all that. And look, we're on what we've done to bring boxing back to the BBC. They can downplay all they want, but it's a phenomenal achievement. And I'm not just saying that for myself, but everyone that I work with. The hoops that you have to jump through, the hurdles that we've had to go, the way we've had to get BBC to accept to come back into the sport it has been a huge achievement. And it's going to be powerful. I'm telling you, it's going to be powerful. This platform is not a joke. And so let's see what happens after Saturday night. It's a start, but it's something I'm really looking forward to.
Another thing I want to talk about is Eddie said, I know Joe Pugh's interview with yourself, you said the trilogy fight with Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, Eddie Hearn says, not going to happen. Do you see that? Do you honestly feel that there can be a trilogy fight between two of them?
Boxing's a different day every single day. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. Who knows? You know, who knows? I didn't think the first fight between Eubank and Ben would ever happen, and it did. So we'll see.
It's a fickle sport because, like you mentioned, Fabio Wardley's now world champion. Who would have saw that coming? Who would have saw Joshua fighting Jake Paul? It does seem like the boxing world is probably, as a sport, there's no sport like it when it comes to just a different news cycle 24 hours. Do you know what I mean? So, that being said, you love the sport still? I mean, there have been the frustrations of the last 6 months or so. I mean, there's a lot of back pain involved in trying to get these shows made and networks and fighters contracts and this, that and the next thing. But for you, Ben, do you still enjoy it?
Look, as with anything, as you grow and as the business matures and develops in life, there's lessons, there's things that you did bad, there's things that you did good, and that's all it is. It's a journey. Why I like boxing is it's like an extreme form of life. The highs are so high, the lows are so low, the experiences are so intense, and it's a drug. And I've had that drug. It's all I've done. I've never had a job, and it's a drug to me. And so I've done quite well in my time. I don't have to do it, but I do love it. And yes, it can be frustrating. Yes, it can be, there's times where you're like, I can't believe it. Yes, have I been naive at times and been stabbed in the back? 100%. But that happens in boxing, and it happens in life. And so I think, luckily, I fairly resilient, and I'm glad to have gone through those experiences, because without them, you don't get to the next stage and you don't get to the next level in your journey as a promoter. And to be honest, I'm glad to go and do different broadcast deals. I think it helps us mature as a business. I think for a lot of people, they felt like we'd just been placed there by Sky and didn't know that we'd been to this broadcast and had to build from here and this and that. So to react like we have, and to be able to come to the BBC and announce another pay TV partner in the next couple of weeks, it's big news for us. And boxing is a drug. Unfortunately, it's a drug.
Did you see, obviously, Ben Shalom had his first show tonight? Yeah. Quote Ben Shalom, he's a 50-year-old man living off his dad's
Working
name.
for his dad.
Working for his dad, sorry.
I'm 46. I do work for my dad. I will always work for my dad. When my dad dies, I will still be working for my dad. And I'm very proud of what he built, and he's a hero of mine. So it's an absolute honour for me to be working for my father. I'm running the company. We have made it together, I guess, the most successful sports business company in the history of our country, with a valuation well in excess of £1 billion. I think we've done really well. So I'm happy to work for my dad. You know, I know everybody's going to want to get up my reaction to what he said, but my thoughts are with him. I mean, I saw some of the stuff tonight. I mean, it's you know, it's sad times. And did Fraser Clark lose?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Fraser, but obviously that's another one of his fighters that are done and gone now. And his other fighter, the biggest star of his stable, just boxed on there for me and was absolutely sensational. So, you know, there's lots I could say, but like I said, my thoughts are with him, and this isn't for everybody. Do you know what I mean? When your back's against the wall, what you can't do is go missing and just have no backbone. What's the animal with no backbone? What's an animal with no backbone? What's it called? With no vertebrae? Jellyfish? I don't know. No, but listen, he's got a lot of work to do. But one thing he says is, you know, I don't like the whole victim, you know, all that. They just don't want to let me in. Oh, what do you think happened with me? I mean, you're going back to when I come along. Every promoter in the business got together and had a photo where they all put their hands in the middle and said, we're coming to get Hearn. And look what happened. I smashed them all up. And do you know what? I'm that sick in the head that I thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it in America as well. And they all did it in America as well. Leonard Ellerby, Oscar de la Hoya, Bob Arum. And look at me now. So you can't really question my credentials. When you say, yeah, I'm like the same kind of age as him, you know, no. Don't ever compare yourself to me. Because you couldn't lace my fucking boots. And let me tell you something else now. The only similarity that we have, and we will ever have, is that we both had the exclusive Sky Sports contract. Okay? Now, what I did, and part of my big legacy, what I will always be known as, is taking that platform and making it the best and biggest sports platform for boxing on the planet. With the best times ever for British boxing. That will be my legacy. And you know what his legacy will be? He fucked it all up and basically made Sky Sports never want to touch boxing again. So, and that right now is his legacy. So focus on yourself, because right now there's winners and there's losers, baby. It doesn't matter what age you are. Who's not going to let me do that? Grow a backbone and come out fighting. You know, but right now that's the legacy. So look, as I said, I wish him all the best. I genuinely do. I don't see him as a competitor. I see people, you know, there's great promoters out there that should get more airtime, right? Izzy Azif, GBM, Johnny Clark, top tier. They're much better promoters than Ben Shalom. A promoter's not someone that goes on a little bit of a run and goes, I'm not going to do an interview, and goes hiding for 5 months. You come out, you put your balls on the line. Yeah? That's what you do, and that's what these guys are doing all the time. So, look, respect to all the promoters out there. It's not easy.